conducted, and I have to hit the mathematics so that when you have a cut to another ship, I have to make sure the music changes as I've written it. Or when there's dialogue, I have to accommodate the dialogue. I can't have the French horns blaring away when people are doing these lines. So I have to keep track of all of these sections. And in addition, I keep track of where thematically I want to pull emotions out. You know, it's not just action. They're themes that are working. And all of those have to be accounted for. And I just find in my process, the way I work, that doing it in conducting with my mathematical marks the way I started has always just worked for me. And that's actually the way John Williams still works. He and I, maybe one other person, are the only people that still work that way. Everybody else has sort of shifted to the system where all the musicians are wearing headsets and they just hear a tempo and they're just playing. And quite honestly, you don't even really need a conductor because the musicians are sight reading. They're trying to get the nebs and they're not watching the guy waving his arms unless the guy is really part of that process. And so, yeah, in a sequence like this, there's a ton of stuff I'm doing behind the scenes which most people wouldn't necessarily be aware of.
And you did the next film as well,
Yeah.
Search for Spock, which made sense because it dovetails the story, doesn't it, as well. But you were part of the Star Trek universe and all that entails. Michael Giacchino,
yeah.
Michael Giacchino, who's here, was talking about this. That he said that if his career goes down the toilet, he does at least have a career going to all the conventions.
Yes. I don't think I could go even to the conventions. I don't think, but it's the most important thing that I wanted to bring to Star Trek, and I'm always going to sort of do this probably when I talk to you tonight. I'm really, to me, the emotion of what film music can do is everything. And I'm always trying to subtly pull the audience in by the heart and believe in the characters, whether it's Titanic, whether it's other movies, whatever it is, there's a sort of quality that I always go at, which is the stuff that's just under the surface, not the stuff that plays obviously on top. And in the case of, for instance, even this movie, it was an action movie, but the thrust of what I wanted to give it was the tune that goes between Kirk and Spock. This weird tune that's based on an augmented fourth. And it initially, when I was doing Star Trek 2, the version of Star Trek 3, Star Trek 3 got formulated somewhere along the end while we were doing it. And then I had to change the end of Star Trek 2 music. It changed the cut to merge into the beginning of Star Trek 3. And it actually held me in very good stead. Star Trek 2 was really, to me, an emotional story between Kirk and Spock. And that really paid off in a big way, obviously, in the next movie. And I always look for those types of things in the films that I do. It's like a trademark in my writing.
Well, let's move on to Alien.